My name's Adam,
I'm Gavin.
and this is our FPGA project.
We made checkers.
So here's our FPGA board. The base is 3. This is your little FPGA there. All we have are
We have a keypad and we have our VGA display. The basic logic and operation of the game is, obviously basic checkers. We have all of our numbers and letters associating to each different square on our checkers board. Black goes first. You select the checker by selecting the number and then the letter that it's in. So we would enter on the keypad 3B, and that highlights the square of the checker that you want to select. Let's say that I wanted to move this checker to 4C. I would just then enter 4C, and it moves the checker to that square. Next, it's White's turn. So if we go 6C, I want to deselect 6C. I would rather move 6E. And so if I wanted to move 6E, I could just enter an invalid next input or square. So if I want to deselect 6C, then I just have to enter any 2 pair of number and I'll deselect it. So now let's enter 6E. So 6E, and let's say we want to move that to 5D, so we can demo jumping. That moves, and so the basic logic is it's constantly, whenever we select a square and then we set the next input square, it'll check to see if that's a valid move. If it's an invalid move, then it'll just deselect the checker. If it's a valid move, then it will move to that location. If there is the potential for jumping, it'll check to see if that's a considered valid move. So for 4C, we select 4C, and it'll see when we tell it to move to 6E, it'll check and see, is there a checker there and is this an empty square? If both are true, then it will move to that position. So 6E, and it jumps the square. We won't show for the purposes of the video, but if you get your checker all the way to the other side of the board, you promote by having a yellow circle in the middle, and then you can move backward and jump backward and do all of the normal checkers things. The only logic that we did not implement for a normal checkers game is double jumping, because that'll be our continued improvement for the rest of the development of this project.
So if there were going to be improvements, we were talking, we'd probably implement a second input board so that we can have both players be able to put in whatever they want. So if you could do a double jump, then you just put it into your side before the other player puts in theirs, and then you can do double jump. So it's, I guess, a race of fingers how fast you can punch it in. Another improvement we'd like to make is be able to figure out what to do with this FPGA glitch. We've got lines that kind of show up. This thing refreshes every frame, so it's got a little bit of a glitchy input. And just because we can now add another we'd add another keypad, we'd probably implement our double jump logic too. Otherwise, I think that's it.
Yeah, we ran into some issues getting the general display to function properly, but as you can see, we still have some issues. Our 4, if I enter a 4, our 4 renders a little bit strange, and as well as the 7 is inverted. So those are some other improvements that we could make. Then that's our checkers project. So
Enjoy.
340, we recommend it.